What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, thank God. The weekend is upon us. Um, Majority of this episode worked my nerves, like seriously. Drew. Let me talk about Drew and Sam because I really want to get them out the way. Drew was pissing me off today, as usual. I don't know what, I used to like Drew. When even when he was Jason, I liked him to an extent, but it's like now it's like you working my nerves, son. You working it. First of all, I just feel like he finds any excuse to get mad at Jason. Like that's like look at him. Like he always clutching his jaw all the time when Jason around. He just finds any excuse to be mad at this man. And I think the real reason he mad at him because he know everything he got is Jason's. I would be mad too. That office you're standing in, who paid for that? Jason. The wife that you kiss and sleep with every night, whose wife was that? Jason's. And you wouldn't even have her if it wasn't for Faison, who accidentally found you. You wouldn't have her. You wouldn't have Scout. Damn near everything you have belonged to Jason. You didn't get none of this stuff on your own merits. You got it all because of Jason. So therefore, I would kind of be pissed too. If I knew that the office that I'm in, the desk that I sit at, was all paid for by who? Jason. I would be a little angry too. But I mean, you can't be mad at him. He didn't ask to get kidnapped. Neither did you. So I don't get what you're so hostile towards him for. Like, and then he talking about how long did you know about Heinrich and who is we? Who are you working with? You should know who he working with. He told you who he was working with. Drew knew from the beginning who Jason was working with. He knew he was working with Sonny and Spinelli. He been knew that. That wasn't news. That wasn't new. You been knew that. Why are you acting so surprised now? And the only reason Jason didn't keep him in the loop, like all as far as details were concerned, was because everything so far that they knew was all a theory until they got it confirmed. He didn't want to tell Sam and Drew anything until he got confirmation, which is understandable. You don't want to go telling them theories and stuff. You want to tell them the facts. That's why Jason didn't want to, bring up everything. And in my opinion, if Drew really wanted to be in on this little operation that Sonny, Spinelli, Jason, and Anna were doing, why didn't you seek any of them out? You knew he didn't know that they were working with Anna, but you knew he was working with Sonny and Spinelli. If you didn't want to reach out to Jason, why didn't you reach out to one of them? Why does Jason always have to come to you with updates? Why didn't you go to him for an update or go to Sonny for an update? Why didn't you actively be a part of this operation? You chose not to. You were focused on Aurora and you were focused on your wedding. That's what you were focused on. You didn't care about what they were doing. So now all of a sudden you act like you cared the entire time. No, 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 you didn't care. If you cared, you would have sought them out for updates. Why do they have to come to you why do they have to come to you to give you an update? You could have went to either one of them to find out what the hell was going on. You're a grown man. Ain't nobody got to coddle you and hold your hand. Your wife may coddle you and hold your hand, but that don't mean Jason, Sonny, and Spinelli will. That's your wife's job. That's what she chooses to do. That's not what they do. They don't have to give you updates every 5 minutes. If you want to update, then damn it, you should have been a part of the operation. They told you what they were doing from the beginning. You knew about all of this stuff. You knew what they were trying to do. You knew it from the get go because Jason Ben told you about it. You could have been a part of the operation. You chose not to. Why are you getting mad at him? It's stupid as shit to me. It's just so dumb. Like he just finds any excuse to be mad at Jason. It's like, grow up. Damn, the fact is, be grateful he's telling you now. He talking about, oh, why didn't you tell me about the meeting with Heinrich in the park? Because your ass was out of town when that meeting took place. You were on your honeymoon. Well, actually, he came back around that time, but still, they already set all that up when Drew and Sam were on their honeymoon. The only reason they came back early was because they heard what was going down. But my thing is like, come on, if you wanted updates, you should have been actively a part of it. Just like Jason, Spinelli, and Sonny were actively a part of it. You could have been a part of it too. Nobody excluded you. You excluded yourself. Be mad at yourself. Now he talking about telling Sam, oh, we need to do this on our own. Now Sam turned around talking about, nah, we should let it go. Make up y'all damn mind. Do y'all want to know the information? See, this is why Jason don't tell y'all nothing, cause y'all so wishy washy. One minute you want to know, next minute you don't want to know. This is why he didn't give you details about what they were doing. He just gave you the small information. He didn't give you major information because number one, he didn't have all the facts at the time. Two, y'all wishy washy as hell. Y'all don't know if y'all want to be involved, if you don't want to be involved. I wouldn't. Ain't nobody got time to keep playing games with y'all. Shit, we need answers. And messing around with Sam and Drew, you'll never get those answers. Shit, they so wishy washy about stuff. Sam talking about, oh, it might be too dangerous. This is why Jason didn't give you details. Dumb dumb. Duh. Yeah. It's so ignorant. Like seriously, this shit grates on my nerves. Like I didn't, like it's just a TV show, but at the end of the day, when you're dealing with characters like this, it just frustrates the hell out of you because it reminds you so much of real life. Because I deal with dumb people like this all the time. Wishy washy. Don't know what they want to do. I can't stand that shit sometimes. I could be like that too. Sometimes I could be wishy washy on certain things, but when I'm wishy washy, it's about small shit. Major shit, my mind is made up, and this is I consider what they're going through major. So it's like the fact that you're wishy washy about it. It's like, yeah, I ain't got time for that. Decisions needed to be made. They still need to be made, and y'all don't know what y'all want to do. So I can understand why Jason not dealing with y'all right now. Like why he not telling y'all details. I wouldn't either, cause ain't nobody got time to be wasting. Um. So anyway, Carly. Carly grates on my nerves sometimes. I swear to God. Y'all know I have a love hate relationship with Carly. You know this. I really do. Sometimes I could love this chick, and then in the same episode, I can't stand her. This was an episode where I liked her and I couldn't stand her at the same time. Her situation with Nell, I can't stand it, but when she was talking to Jason, I was like, yep, you're right. She basically smacked Jason in the face with some hard, cold truth. When she yelled at him and told him to go fight for Sam, I said, yeah, listen, here's my thing. At this point, I don't want Sam with Jason at this point. I think they're beyond that. But if Jason obviously is still in love with Sam, then he really do need to fight for her. And here's the thing. I've been making excuses for Jason because I've always said, even in the comment section, I told people like it's not his nature to fight for women because he doesn't fight for no woman. When Elizabeth wanted to walk out, he cared, but he didn't fight for her. He didn't beg her. That's not his style. But you got to realize something. Jason is in his 40s now. You are a grown at man. You need to start saying how you feel, speaking up. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to make his voice heard. Like make your intentions known with Sam. Like Sam know that he's still in love with her, but the fact that you're not fighting for her, it's like, bruh, fight for her. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. And if Sam is worth having to you, fight for her. Shit. It's time for you to man up. Come on now. I understand that it's not his nature and he like people to be happy, but come on, bro. What about your happiness? And if she makes you happy, you need to put your cards on the table. I said this before. He needs to put all his cards on the table, and if she still want to be with Drew, then I say let it go after that. But you need to make your intentions known this time because I'm getting tired of him soaking around about this woman, walking around looking depressed every time he sees Sam or bump into Sam. Like it's getting annoying. Like you need to just tell this trick how you feel and let's move the hell on. We got things to do. Speaking of things to do, so Mike apparently is back on the gambling circuit. Which I'm not surprised because I knew if they were gonna bring Mike back, they were gonna reintroduce him as a gambler. I was like, I pretty much knew that. That was a given. And apparently he been clean for 7 years. It's funny how we say he been clean for 7 years. That man ain't do no drugs or nothing like that. He just a gambler. But gambling obviously is an addiction, one that is hard to kick, I suppose. Um, so basically, Sonny got to go down to Brooklyn and bail his ass out, wherever the hell he is. Sonny went to his apartment. He not answering the door or whatever. I say, yep, he on a gambling binge. Either that or he in trouble with some other mafiosos. Um, I don't really care about all that. I really don't. I'll wait until for Monday when we see Mike. Um, but anyway, that scene with Maxie. Oh my God. Her waking up thinking that she woke up next to Nathan. I said, damn, yo, these scenes, like, as a man, these scenes are emotional, yo. They really are, like, cause I hate seeing people like that. You know what I mean? All that grief, you know. And I'm happy that Nina was there for her, though. You know, I am happy that Nina was there and comforting her. And I can understand why, Maxie just let those emotions out when Nina was talking about the funeral arrangements. Because, listen, this is 24 hours after Nathan died. So this is the next day. Nathan died the night before, the previous night. So this is the next day. She, you know, 24 hours removed from his death, the last thing you want to think about is planning a funeral. That's the last thing you want to think about. You do not want to think about a funeral. I agree with Maxie. She was like, right now, she should be planning a nursery or a baby shower, not no funeral. And I agree. I felt bad for her. Like, that emotion just came out of her. She just lashed out. And even Nina understood why she was lashing out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people do in grief. They lash out. They're not doing it to be mean. It's just that they have to yell. They have to get upset. You know what I mean? That's the part of the grief process. And I'm glad Nina didn't take it personal. I felt bad for Nina too because you got to remember that was her brother. She grew up with that man. So, it's hard for her too. But it's a different type of hard, you know what I'm saying? Because that was her brother, but that was Maxie's husband and the father of her child, a child that Nathan will never meet. So it's even a lot more harder on her, because now you got to think about that too. Oh, this child is never gonna meet his dad, and it's like it's pretty messed up. Um, so all in all, it's pretty trifling. I felt bad, but that scene at the end where they was just sitting there going over the funeral stuff, and they just kept looking at each other, and the spirit of Nathan was sitting behind them, and they felt his spirit in that room. They felt his spirit next to them, and that's crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick. Cause you know what, when Nathan's spirit was in that room, it reminded me of something. So I think it was yesterday I told you this. I think it was. So yesterday or the day before I told you, you know, my cousin, he died back in 1999. I was 6 years old when he died. So a year after he died, um, I had a dream, and it felt real to me. It really felt real. So in the dream, I was in my house. I was in the living room. My mother and my sister were in my mother's room. She was doing my sister here. So I I heard a knock at the door, at the front door. So I went to go open the door, but I didn't see anybody outside. There was nobody out there. So I was like, okay. So then I closed the door and I went into my mother's room. She was still sitting there doing my sister's hair, and that's when I looked up behind the two of them. I seen my cousin, my deceased cousin, standing there, and he looked at me and he was smiling at me, and he was just staring at me, smiling, and then he went away. That freaked me out, and I still remember it vividly to this day. Like it was real, and I felt it, and I remember just waking up that night, and it was crazy, man. It was insane. And that was like my favorite cousin. Um, so when Maxie and Nina were having that scene and Nathan, they felt Nathan's presence. That reminded me of that day, that dream that I had. Like 16, what was that? That was going on 18 years. That was 18 years ago I had that dream. And I still remember it fresh, word for word. I remember it fresh. It was like crazy, surreal. Um, that was a beautiful scene, man. I give yo, like I said, I don't wear hats, but I tip my hat to the writers for this, man, because they're knocking it out the park. The actors are knocking it out the park. It is just so realistic. It's so raw. I love it. I love it. This is some shit that's gonna get them some daytime Emmys because they deserve it, man. This storyline is just hitting everybody hard. And mind you, Nathan, he's only been on the show for like 4 years, 3, 4 years, like 4 years, and this storyline is so well done. It was perfectly done. You couldn't do it any better. You know, beautiful. So anyway, I felt bad for Ava today. because all Ava wanted to do was see her daughter, you know. And I respect the fact that Kiki respects Sonny and Carly's wishes that, you know, she not bring Avery around Ava or have any interaction with Ava. I can understand that, you know. But I just feel like Ava should be able to, you know, be around her child. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's not fair that Sonny and Carly get to dictate who gets to be a parent. I feel like it's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair. They took Michael away from AJ. They took Avery away from Ava. It's not fair. And then Carly wants to keep bringing up, oh, Nell was in a mental hospital. Carly, 13 years ago, you were in a mental hospital. You were in Shady Brook. You had a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown. It was to a point where Sonny, I remember it. She came back to the house. Sonny didn't even want her around Michael and Morgan because he was afraid of what she made, you know, her mental capacity. He didn't even want her around the kids. I remember. So who are you to talk about this woman being in a mental hospital when you were in one? And your own ex-husband, who's now your current husband, didn't even trust you around the kids. Like Sonny was looking nervous, like when she came in the house, like he was watching her like a hawk because he didn't know how stable she was or you know what she was gonna do. Her mental was just all messed up. It was just crazy. Like so, you know, I'm happy that you know Nell and Ava are joining forces to not only keep Nell's baby but also get Avery back for Ava. Let me tell you something, because I know people are gonna bring this up. Well, she had something to do with his son dying. Here's the thing. I'm not making excuses for Ava. Like I said, Ava switching those beds on Morgan was the most horrendous thing you could do to a person. Even though she didn't know that he was gonna die, the fact that you did that, you know, you don't mess with somebody's mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mess with that. I don't like that. You know. But my thing is, when you look at Sonny and Carly, they have done equally horrible things in their life. Equally horrible. This woman tried to make AJ think that he started drinking again, knowing he was an alcoholic and he was trying to beat that addiction. And the fact that she made him fall off the wagon, that was disgusting. It was deplorable. It's damn near the same thing as messing with somebody's medication. And what Sonny did, putting him on a meat hook, and what he did to Scott Baldwin's daughter, getting her hooked on drugs, forcing her to strip, to be a stripper. Come on now, these people are no saints, and I'm tired of people acting like Sonny and Carly are saints. They're not. They who the hell gave them the right to dictate who should be a parent? It's not right, and I hope Ava gets her daughter back, and I hope Nella gets to keep her child because before you know it, Carly's gonna try to get Michael to get full custody of that baby, so that way they can have full rights. I already know that's her plan, and Nell knows it. That's why Nell was like she gotta take her ass out before she tried to take her down. I say, yep, let the war begin. All I want is for somebody to finally stand up to Sonny and Carly because if nobody stands up to them, it's just going to continue. They're just going to continue to be hypocrites and think that their shit don't stink. And it's getting a little tiring. It's time for somebody to knock them off their pedestal. And I hope it's Ava and Nell who does it. Honestly, because I'm getting tired of this foolishness. Um, it's been going on for years and it's time for it to end. Is it just me, or did anybody else see chemistry between Kiki and Michael again? I can't help it. I did. The way they was looking at each other, I was just getting this vibe like, are y'all about to get back together soon? I was like, hold up. I got that vibe. Like I was like, okay. Um I mean, for me, I wouldn't mind seeing Kiki and Michael together again. I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't mind it. I liked them together before, you know, to an extent. I just didn't like the way they got together, you know, basically Ace and Morgan out, you know, just so he could hook up with Kiki. I just was like, okay. I didn't like the way they went about it, but now it's like, I'm cool if they get back together because Kiki about to become a doctor, Michael CEO. It works, you know, I like it. So, anyway, I hope all you have a great day. Hit that comment button, let me know how you felt about today's episode. I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Have a great weekend. It looks like it's about to snow again. Um, and I'll see you all Monday. Have a great weekend. Peace. God bless.